Hi there, it's Jodi. Thanks so much for joining me today for episode 20 of Tuesday Tips. That means for 20 weeks, I've been coming on live on Tuesdays and just sharing some stamping tips with you. So I hope it's something that you've enjoyed over these last several months, and also that you're learning some things and trying some new things with your Stampin' Up! Supplies. So I'm going to pull in again my cards for my free card kit in the mail this month that feature the Waves of the Ocean product suite. It is just a stunning bundle of products, the papers, the embellishments, everything. The detail on this wave image is like nothing I've seen before from Stampin' Up! It is so gorgeous. So I showed you, I think that was just last week, how to get the two different colors on the wave image. So I took that wave image and inked it up with Coastal Cabana, and then took a sponge dauber and added some Pacific Point before I went ahead and stamped on the cardstock. So this is one of the cards. This is another. This has some of our foil paper you can see here, and also the birds, as well as some of the designer paper. This one is just a fun way to use the wave die in a totally different way to create that fun background. And then what I'm going to show you today is with this card here. This is the fourth card in my free card kit. And what I want to show you how to do is to create this sunrise, sunset, whichever way you want to go. So let me go ahead and show you that. This is the wave image that's part of this stamp set. Let me just real quickly pull in, oops, upside down. So you can see the waves of inspiration, all the images that come there. Okay, so that's the stamp set. There's coordinating dies, designer paper, foil paper, and lots of gorgeous blue embellishments. So this is my Coastal Cabana ink. And normally I would just apply my ink everywhere. What I'm going to do is take my ink, I've got some fuzzes from my scrub pad. I'm going to take my ink and I'm just going to apply it down here toward the bottom. It's not bad to do the whole thing. It's just not necessary. So I just put some ink at the bottom. Normally, you would see me pick this up and just go ahead and stamp it like this, right? To get the wave image. But because I just want that part, I'm going to turn it and just stamp like this down at the bottom of my cardstock. You can see from the grid paper, I probably should have made that straight before I stamped to increase the likelihood that I stamped straight, which I did not. So we'll just go like that and pretend, pretend like that's a solid image across the bottom, okay? Putting your paper straight is, I guess, my first tip for this Tuesday. Anyhow, you get your water on the bottom there, and then you take, oh, I have to stretch. Hold on. It's on the other side of my table. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I didn't put it right next to me. This is just some scrap paper from the computer. So I'm going to take that and just lay it right to the edge of my Coastal Cabana ink. Okay, it's right there on the edge. And now I'm going to take a blending brush and my Daffodil Delight ink, and I'm going to just pick up some ink with that blending brush. Just pick up that ink. I'm going to start here on my scrap paper and kind of push the ink this way. I just want to make sure that scrap paper doesn't move so that the line that I'm creating stays really well defined. So I'm just pushing, I'm starting down here at the bottom and pushing the ink up. What's naturally going to happen is that I'm going to get darker colors at the bottom, and then it'll fade into a lighter color at the top. And I can go up if I want to just tap it on here a little bit to get some of that ink off. I can go up as far as I want to here, extend that sunlight up as far as I want to. I can come back here and swirl and get some darker yellow down here at the bottom. Whatever you want to do, you can always add more ink, right? So start with a lighter hand. You can always add more to get more of a defined area. But however you want your sunrise, or like I said, sunset to look, you just keep blending that ink onto your cardstock, okay? Then when you remove this, you've got that nice defined line between your water that you would have stamped straight because you would have put your paper straight first, and then your sunrise or sunset, like I said, whichever way you want to look at it. So let me pull this back in. I'm going to take it out of the clear envelope quick so there's not a glare. But when I pull this back in, you see I stamped the water. I used that scrap paper here, did my blending with my blending brush, and just gave that fade that it's sometimes called ombre, where you go from a lighter to a darker of the same shade. So I've got that Daffodil Delight in the background, creating that effect of the sun, and then just added some of the other elements from the stamp set and bundle. There's a die that cuts out that label, the die that cuts out the pelican, added the birds, and of course the linen thread. So that's just my quick tip for today. You can do some fun things when you kind of start. I used this stamp in a way that's different from normal. Normally we'd ink it and stamp, but I just flipped it and stamped that bottom part, and then use just scrap piece of computer paper to do your masking and blend out the ink. So that's my tip for you today. I hope that you enjoyed that, and maybe it's new to some of you. Maybe you just haven't tried it in a while. So I'd love to see what you create with masking. Feel free to always post in this group your latest Stampin' Up! Projects that you've been working on. We would love to see them. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.